All right, we're back. Not sure what number we're on, but time to make a little more progress and actually finish this job up. So right now, it looks like I left off creating the staircase. I've got the landings. I've got my deck up here. I'm guessing I drew my landings as I copy this back just to line it up. Yeah, just to the bottom. So I've still got the wood decking I've got to put on those like this. Since these objects are fairly done, I'm going to go ahead and match properties to something else on the trim layer. Let's go ahead and create the decking on top. I'm going to copy this face, and I'm going to copy this face. I'm going to extrude them both 1.5. I'll leave the overhangs. Let's see, did I draw the overhangs on there? I did, and my overhangs were a 1/2 inch, so I'll go ahead and I'm going to leave these flush for now, but put them on this layer. I've already got my polylines for my posts. Let's extrude those out. Oh, that's right, they're drawn as posts on this elevation, but as wood posts there, but as big stone posts there. So I'm going to go with my wood posts for now. These posts are 6 thick, so I'm going to copy these back 6 and then subtract those out of the original. And that gives me a square post. I'm going to guess that these things, set my UCS back down to earth, mirror these things across the landing. Maybe copy these posts from the same base point on the landing to this. And I'm not using the elevations here. Sometimes I just go ahead and build what needs to be built. I copied those posts down so that they would go lower than these posts. Again, just like everything down to the same level. So now they're lower, so now I'm going to slice these posts to the bottom of these posts, keep the top. Okay, I'm going to put these for now. I've got a layer called 3D Wood Ver. So I've got my vertical wood. So if I put a wood grain on them, I can orient those vertical. I'm going to go ahead and draw these stairs. I've got the polylines drawn, again, not with the decking, but I'm going to extrude that out. I'm going to use my plan to determine how far that goes. Slice these off on my ZX axis. At the house, keep that side. So that's a flight up there. Let's do this while I'm at it. Again, we're using this as a reference. Slice that, Z, keep that side. Those look about right. It looks like I need a staircase here, so I'm going to look at the left side and draw this. Let's see, I want to find the intersection of here and here. Go perfect here, here, close that, extrude it. Again, I'm using my plan as my reference. I'm going to keep, slice, XY axis. Keep that side. And I'm going to make the treads now. So actually, I'm going to put these on the deck layer, but now I want to make the treads on everything. So what I'm going to do is actually union these 3 objects together. Then that'll allow me to copy all these faces on the 3 objects at the same time, since now they're the same solid. Whoops, now I selected the back side. I'm going to hold shift and hit that angle. Now the display still shows that it's selected, but I think it's going to be right. So I'm zooming in close so I don't hit. I hit something back there. Let's try this. Ooh, I've got this face. I don't want that. And I'm going to base point and base point all the same. Now those should be the only objects in here, so I'm just going to window this whole thing and extrude everything 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and isolate these 2 layers so that, oh, I got an extra object down here I don't want. Now I'm going to match props. We'll lay on ISO. And we're back up here. It looks like I got the stairs and posts. Now I may be replacing these posts with these posts later. In fact, yeah, I'm going to do that later if need be. Now it looks like I have to draw some railings. Let's go ahead and do these columns first. I like to do the big objects first. We've got some posts here. I'm going to look at the front. Go back to my isometric. I'm going to draw some rectangles for these posts. Extrude the... actually, I'm going to copy this object. And find a corner of the post. Copy it here. Set my UCS to ground. Rotate this so it lines up with my elevation. Now I'm going to extrude these three things really far and these three things really far. Then I'm going to union these together, and then do an intersect command. Bam, got a column. I'm going to copy that column based on the front elevation. Here, here, and there. Let's look here. Those look beautiful. I'm going to match them to my trim layer. It looks like I need a beam going around this porch. Again, that's this beam. So what I'm going to do is, again, look at the front. Use the southwest isometric, and draw a rectangle over this whole beam. Extrude that out to my elevation where the beam is. Then I'm going to slice that whole object to the furthest point back that I want, which is the front of this house. Keep that side. Now again, if I orbit, I can see just that object, which I actually want to make hollow. So I'm going to layer off 3D star. So I'm just left with this object. So I'm going to determine how thick I want that beam to be by doing a distance from the middle of the column to the beam. That's 7.5, so let's make the beam 15 thick. First, I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to go to my wireframe, set my UCS to ground, and draw a polysolid. Here I'm going to define my height as the height of the beam, the width as 15, and justification left. Now I can draw, whoop, I did my justification wrong. So let's just finish that and we'll go from the other end. Erase this object. And I think I need to slice this because this sticks out on my XY or my ZX. Keep both sides. Now I slice this as well. That's one object. I'm going to use this command, which is a separate command, which turns this into two separate objects. So I can delete the one I don't want and union this stuff back together. Lay on ISO. Nope. Layer on 3D all. I'm going to go ahead and look at this, make sure it looks right, and put it on my trim layer. Alright, let's go with the railings now. This is fun. For the railings, I'm guessing it's going to be a white vinyl railing. I have a block that I'm going to insert on the front elevation. Actually, let's use my side elevation. Let's look at my left side, isometric. I know the blocks, the railing's going to be centered on this this column, so I'm going to insert. And I have a 3D blocks layer, and I've got something called a railing profile. It's a very simple shape. I'm going to go. Let's erase that. Insert. Yeah, and I'm going to do mid between 2 points. And enter. I'm going to explode it because it's a block. I'm going to go to my wireframe view. Now these two objects are my railing, so I'm going to extrude those all the way to this last column. And I'm going to slice these at this column. Keep this side. Whoop, that didn't work because my UCS was different. Let's do it again. Slice. YZ of here. Keep this side. Now I'm left with this rectangle for my railing. That rectangle's 3/4 inch thick, so I'm going to extrude it 3/4. Now I'm going to move this from the mid of these 2 points, and I'm going to put that in the middle of the bottom railing. Use those 2 points as well. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I want to kind of break this railing at this column. Get rid of this part because we'll use the part we make. Now I'm going to move the middle of this bottom to the middle of the bottom rail. And then I can use the standard array command. And rectangular, no row, 1 row, let's go, I don't know, 30 columns, 4.75, that puts 4 inches between them. This is really close, so what I'm going to do is take all of these and move them over half of that 4.75, which is 2.375. Erase the ones I don't want. Just to make my life easier, I'm going to union all these together, which makes them one object that I can mirror at the middle of this rail. And the spacing should be right now. So I'm going to union those together and the top and bottom rail, because I'm sort of going to treat these as one. Now if I mirror these 2 objects over the center of that column, let's try that again. Union this and that. Alright, now if I mirror these over the middle of my column, we're all the way to here. I'm going to go ahead and slice these 2 objects at this column. Keep that. It looks like we have, let's get a better view here. It looks like we have a little piece of railing that returns with a post. Let's draw that post. So I'm going to look at the left side. And here's my post. Here's my rectangle. I'm going to extrude that all the way to the edge here of, let's go to the deck, not the decking. And I want to see how thick that is. So that's 4, so I'm going to copy it back 4 and subtract it out of my shape. Alright, now I'm going to set my UCS back flat and mirror these. I'm going to use my corner mirror trick, which is to take 2 corners at a 45, which mirrored it over here. Now if I slice these on my ZX, keep that. Looks like I'm good. Let's take a look here. Now it looks like we're going to have some posts, some of these little posts on these landings. I'm going to go ahead and just copy these for now, where I think they go. Copy these. And that's why I didn't do the overhangs yet. I can do those later, but I wanted my posts at the corners of the major geometry. Let's copy this. Let's copy these. Depending on where the rails come in, those might have to get taller. And then it looks like I would have a post down here. A post. I don't need that one because I got that big stone post there. Alright, those are my posts. Now I need to run railings down, which is kind of a pain in the neck, and I think it's going to be the next tutorial.